Well, hello, you wonderful humans, and welcome back to New World. There are a ton of different ways to level up quickly in this game, and today I'm going to be showing you one of my favorite locations. In the previous episode, I showed you a place where you could farm up these pig spawns, and you could say it's kind of an exploit because the respawn timers are very fast right there. But that was for, mid 30s to high 40s, and a lot of people asked for a lower level spot, and today I'm going to show you a truly amazing spot from low 20s to even high 30s, maybe even level 40, and this XP spot is absolutely ridiculous. Now, not only are you going to get character XP, you're going to be getting weapon XP, which is very important. There are a ton of different ways to level up your character in this game, and some may even be faster. And I actually have a tip for leveling up just character XP that I'll be making another video on later. But this one is going to get you incredibly fast levels, but also weapon levels, which is extremely important because when you're leveling up via storyline or company boards or through crafting and gathering, you're going to be slacking on your weapon XP, which is pretty important. But with this method, you're going to get an absolute ton of XP, so not only is it great for leveling your character, but you can level up side weapons, you can level up main weapons through this. There's a lot of different ways you can utilize this, and I really hope everyone enjoys today's video. Now, with this method, you're going to be getting about 60,000 XP per hour, not only for your character, but also for your weapons. You're going to be able to easily max out your main weapons, and even side weapons if you want to try some other builds in the future. Now, there are multiple areas you can do this. Now, I'm going to start off showing you the lower level area, and then I'll show you the two higher level areas that you're going to want to utilize to do this as you level up. The places that we're going to be going for this are what we call elite zones. These are areas in the world that anyone can go to at any point in time and are essentially like a dungeon in the open world. These have elite gold bar monsters and bosses in them, and they drop our higher XP as well as tons of loot that you can use to upgrade your character throughout this process. Now, the benefit of this being an area that you can go to at any point in time means there's usually going to be other groups of people in the area. And at first glance, this might be a bad thing, but it's actually a really good thing because it's hard to solo unless you're much higher level than the area itself. And you can try and join in on these groups, or you can just run around with them, and as long as you're tagging the monsters, you're going to be getting the XP as well. Now, I definitely do recommend trying to get into any groups that are there, or going in with a group of at least 4 or 5, but regardless, there's usually people here, and you should be able to get into a group. Now, let's get into the first zone that you're going to want to start doing this in, and then we'll get into some of the higher level zones here in a moment. Now, the first place you're going to want to go to is going to be just on the bottom left corner of Monarch's Bluff. There's a fast travel point pretty close to it right here at the Deadly Shrine, and then we are going to be going to a Dead Man's Cove, recommended level 25 and recommended players 5. Now, once you get here, as you approach this spot here, this is where all the elites are going to be. You can farm everything through here, and really what you want to do is you want to come in through here, and you want to clear out this area and then make your way up through here. And you're just going to make these loops going through all of this, and you'll be able to get a ton of XP. Now, the monsters here do hit pretty hard, so if you are playing a squishy character, I definitely recommend bringing a healer, or at the very least bringing a lot of potions, bringing travel rations, and then I recommend, if possible, if you've been leveling it up, bringing a life staff if you have one, so that way, if there are no healers in the area, you can double as a healer, be able to heal yourself up, because these monsters, even when you're quite a bit higher, they do hit really hard, and you don't want to spend any time dying and having to run back in. Now, the goal here is obviously pretty simple. Run around and kill things as quick as possible. The respawn timers are quick enough to where if you clear the entire area as you make your way back, you should be able to refarm it and just rinse and repeat. Now, a side benefit to this is it's also a great Azoth spawn. So if you like being able to fast travel or adding abilities into your crafts, then I highly recommend this for that as well, because you can max out your Azoth very, very quickly. Now, Dead Man's Cove is one of my favorite locations to do this just because the mob density is just so high here. But there are some other areas that we can do this, and we're at mapgenie.io right now, which has an interactive map. And this can be really handy for a ton of different things, but you can set it to only search for these elite areas, and you can see quite a few of them throughout the map, like Stone Skull Fort down here in the Cutlass Keys. This has good high mob density. There's another one up here in Brightwood that I was using for a little while. This one doesn't have quite as high mob density, but the XP is still pretty good if the other locations are taken over. Then once you get up to like the 50s, then you're going to want to head over to this area up here, which is Scorpius. This is going to be what's going to get you to max level if you want to utilize farming up monsters like this. But those 3 areas or 4 areas are some of the best in the game to get XP. Now, as I mentioned, this is specifically the best way to get the best weapon and character XP at the same time, because even if you level up your character other ways, you're still going to need that weapon XP to be at the top of your game, so you might as well do both at the same time if possible. Now, if your weapons are already maxed out throughout this process, then you're going to want to move on to something else, and I'm going to be making a video on the best way, hands down, to level up your character XP in another video, so definitely keep an eye out for that one. But thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.